everyone, welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be talking about something that I see quite often on social media, and it's something that I think I just want to give a little bit of reassurance to people out there, especially people who are, relatively new to being out as trans, or even if it's just their first foray into being trans on social media, and that is that we place these unrealistic expectations on our heads sometimes, and I see people beating themselves up over this quite a lot, and I just want to run through I'll get my words out, run through a few of them, just to let you know that it's okay. These things that you're beating yourself up over, it's okay, things are going to get better. Okay, so let's get into the first ones. The first one is you aren't going to know everything immediately. Okay, just because you've came out as trans or non-binary or gay, bi, whatever, it doesn't matter. Just because you have those feelings and you have dysphoria or don't have dysphoria or whatever, just because you are trans doesn't mean you're going to know absolutely everything there is to know about being trans. You're not going to know necessarily who the first trans woman was automatically, or all these different things that go around being it, all the different terms, your AFABs, your AMABs. Took me ages to get used to all these different things, okay? So don't think of yourself as being any less trans just because you don't know some of these different terms and, different case studies that you hear people talking about, or what's going on in the news, or this person's done this and this person's done that. And just because you don't know who these people are or anything, great, go out there and learn to your heart's content, but don't let it drag you down into thinking that you're any less trans because you're an expert on biology or chromosomes or blah 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 and all these different scientific things that you see people talking about. All right, if you want to learn about that, brilliant, okay, go for it, learn it, that's fantastic. But just because you choose not to or don't know doesn't make you any less trans. Okay, it's still still just as valid. Okay, and you're entitled to an opinion as well. Okay, and if someone does pull you up, and say, oh, actually, that's not right, and this is why, because blah 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 XYZ, then just say thank you very much. Okay, I didn't realize that. Put it in your memory box and move on. And that's it. No harm, no foul. You've learned something, and people are learning all the time. Okay, so go with it. The next thing, clothing. Yeah, you might look back on photographs and think, God, what the heck was I doing wearing that? So and just put it into context. Think to yourself, well, I've only been out about a month, 2 months, or I might not have even been out. This might have been prior to transitioning. And you're not always gonna instantly hit that, prime me instantly. You're just not. You're always gonna have hits and misses. It wouldn't matter whether you were trans or not. You're always gonna have hits and misses, and you'll find a style that suits you. Okay, you'll experiment, you'll have fun with it. You'll try different things, and things that you might look at in the papers on one person and think, oh gosh, they look so good, I totally want to try that. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to look good on you, or it might look awful on them and you might look freaking awesome. And just go with it. All right, don't beat yourself up. You're always going to be experimenting with your look. You're always going to be changing it. So don't beat yourself up if you're not instantly brilliant at it. Okay, and that moves on to the next thing, your hair. Okay, your hair. I love my hair. It's one of my nicest features, but I have days where I would honestly rip it out from the roots because it irritates me that much, because it just doesn't go the way I want it and whatnot. And I had my hair loads of different colours when I first started transitioning. I've had red hair, I've had blue hair, I've had salmony pink coloured hair, I've had all sorts of coloured hair, and eventually I settled on the blonde, and all the women in my family are blonde, and it helps me feel more part of the family, I guess, and I like how it looks. I like the look, I like how nice it looks when it's freshly been done, and it's just a really nice hair for me. And if it brings you joy, then go for it. Okay, that's what I say. And don't, you probably might have a couple of bad experiences. You might have the odd bad haircut, or you might have done something to it where you've thought, oh wow, this person looks great, I want to try and emulate them. Everybody does that. Everybody does that, okay? Don't beat yourself up, okay? It happens. It's your hair. You're going to have bad hair days regardless, okay? Just because you've came out, or you've came to the realization that you're trans, or you've admitted it, or whatever, you're still going to have bad hair days, okay? So just have a laugh about it and move on, okay? And eventually you'll get it right. You'll get it right. You're not going to be an instant expert at makeup, and anyone that suggests that you are have probably got some very fast and loose opinions on gender norms when it comes to that. Just because you're a trans woman or whatever, you're not an instant expert on makeup. You're gonna have those moments where you look like a raccoon that's been shot with a blooming shotgun to the face. You're gonna have those moments where your lipstick is, still coming out around here. It happens. You're learning. Most cis women would learn this kind of stuff when they're a child, so be kind to yourself. You're not going to know instantly how to do your makeup, and you're gonna not be able to do certain things. I, for one, still can't figure out how to do the proper kind of flick thing that you see people do with the eyeliner and stuff. I'm awful with that, and I think it's because it's the idea of having anything go that close to my eye, which is mental, being as I used to wear contact lenses. But hey-ho. But yes, you're not going to be an expert when it comes to doing your makeup straight away, unless you've got prior knowledge. Then great, yeah, some people will, but I, for one, certainly was not, and I think I'm in the every person category. I certainly didn't have any experience of makeup prior to transitioning and whatnot, because I just didn't, I just didn't have it. And eventually you will get there, okay? You will get there with it. And regardless of how good you are, one thing that I've found is that everybody will have an opinion, and they're just being nice. They might say, oh, have you tried thinking about this lipstick? Or instead of thinking of that lipstick, have you tried of this shade on your cheeks or whatever? And they're just trying to be nice. They are just trying to be nice. So 9 times out of 10, as long as it's in a respectful way, take it as them being nice, okay? And they're being supportive. And I don't think it would matter if you've been doing your makeup for 15 years. I think people are still going to try and give you advice, and that's just the way it is for people, And more importantly, the one thing that you will need to learn very quickly after coming out, or when you've got to that point, is be kind to yourself. All these things that I've talked about there, they're little things, and you'll get there with it, all right? It just takes time, and it takes patience, all right? It takes a lot of patience. That's one thing that you've got to get so good at when you're trans, is having patience, okay? And you've got all these other things going on in your life that we forget about, that take up your time, going to get groceries, taking the kids to school, loads of different things, especially, in a pre-COVID world anyway. And they all take time, and they all zap us of our energy. Work, remember that when we used to have to leave the house to go to work? And, just keep that in mind. We're not blessed with an infinite amount of time. You've only got so much time to deal with, learning all these different things. So just be kind to yourself. You'll get there, all right? And, if you need to use social media to, shed a little tear over it or get some advice or whatever, then that's absolutely fine. It's part of your support network, okay? And no one will ever beat you up for that. You never need to apologize for struggling. All right, you just don't. You don't need to apologize for struggling. We all struggle. I struggle. There's not a day goes by where something doesn't happen that puts me in a spin, and I think, oh gosh, I've got to do this, or I've got to do that, or I don't know how to do this, and I don't know how to do that, and it just happens. Okay, it's part of being human. We're all like it. All right, so don't beat yourself up over these things. All right, You will get there. I promise. Okay. Talk to you again soon, guys. Thank you. All the best. Oh, if you liked the video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay. It really does help the channel. Thank you. All the best. Take care. Bye.